So let me ask you this. What is the difference between Young Thug's plea and Gunna's plea?
One walked out free, the other took 40 years. And if you believe the internet, it all comes down to who told.
Rapper Gunna pled not guilty today, but he was also denied bond, so will remain behind bars. His colleague, Young Thug, though, his bond hearing was delayed today.
We are a weapon nigga. We are YSL Loon. Weapon nigga.
Young Thug's father says the Fulton County DA has things all wrong. He says his son and Gunna are good kids who are operating a popular record label, not a street gang.
We do a lot to serve the community. We do a lot to help people try to reach their goals on dreams and make dreams come true.
Prosecutors filed a motion seeking to disqualify Young Thug's attorney from the case, but defense attorney Brian Steele clapped back.
We filed a conflict notice on Mr. Steele as well.
Okay.
Mr. Steele's represented multiple of these defendants.
I never was paid a nickel. I don't have an open file on Mr. Arnold. I never defended him. I did a favor.
The judge delayed the Grammy Award-winning rapper's bond hearing. He and 27 others were named by the Fulton DA as allegedly running a criminal street gang tied to murders, shootings, and other crimes. But Young Thug's father defends the operation.
Where we come from, we're used to being made to look bad. The business don't stop. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep striving to put out good music for you guys.
In a related matter, rapper Gunna's attorney pushed for bond on his RICO charge and even promised to abide by lots of restrictions. But prosecutors insisted Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, was a commander in YSL, and his release could endanger witnesses in the high-profile case.
In terms of the danger to witnesses and the other folks that are tied to this, that is the court's concern. And given that proffer and given what has been stated thus far, I'm not inclined to grant bond at this point in time.
By late 2022, the YSL indictment had Atlanta on fire. 56 counts, RICO charges, lyrics on trial, and one of the biggest names outside of Young Thug was Gunna. Locked up for months, no bond, no trial date in sight, and every courtroom delay made it worse. 3 times his lawyers asked for bond. 3 times the judge said no, calling Gunna a threat to witnesses based on state claims, not evidence. He wasn't accused of murder. He wasn't even in half the violent charges, but the DA kept him locked in like a kingpin. And with trial delayed for over a year, the pressure built, inside and out, media, lawyers, labels, and real life waiting on the other side. So when the DA finally offered a deal, the Alford plea, it came with a choice: hold the line or go home.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
Gunna took the Alford plea. He didn't admit guilt, but he walked free. And the internet lost its mind. That one line, YSL is a gang, was all people needed to call him a rat.
Well, there's some big differences there, right? So Gunna pleads out right away, right? He doesn't even get into the trial part of the thing. The other thing is Gunna signs off on all this bullshit that the state, right? The state wants to put out. Now, maybe he didn't sign off on all of it, but I think he signed off on YSL as a gang,
yes,
and all this other crap, right? When they asked Jeffrey to do that, Jeffrey pushed back, right? Jeffrey, he could have taken a negotiated plea, and they wanted him to sign off on all these damn lies, right? Because that's all they care about.
Yeah.
They don't care about the truth.
Yes.
They care about getting a victory.
Yes.
So they wanted him to sign off on all that stuff. Jeffrey didn't do it. And what happens to Jeffrey by not doing it? What happens to Thug by not doing that? Because he wouldn't sign off on all their little things, YSL as a gang and all this other business, he had to take that non-negotiated plea, right? The blind plea. He had to risk going to prison. He risked going to prison partially so he wouldn't have to sign off on all that stuff that would have hurt the other guys.
Doug says it didn't help the state, didn't hurt Thug, but online, facts don't trend, accusations do.
So Gunna did whatever he chose and thought he had to do. Thug did what he had to do. I wish Jeffrey would have stuck it out till the end, gone through it. But he had to make those decisions for himself.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to criticize him for it. The other thing is, I mean, just honestly, it's hard for me to criticize the guy that I sat by for 2 years.
Yes.
You know, what would that say about me?
Sure. From a lawyer's perspective, from a legal perspective,
Yeah.
is there any difference between Thug's plea and Gunna's plea? Not because you sat next to him 2 years. Is there a scenario where you as a lawyer say those two are the same things? And the reason I ask this is because Gunna's lawyer is positioning it that way. He's saying basically, yo, y'all are mad at Thug. I'm sorry, y'all are mad at Gunna when Thug is kind of in the same scenario. To that, what do you say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I totally understand the position that Gunna's lawyer is taking. I mean, there are differences, but they're fine differences, right? And those are kind of the differences that I brought up,
right? Which
is that the plea that Gunna took said some things in it that Jeffrey's plea did not say.
Yes.
And that's, I guess, the main difference between the two.
Right.
I mean, if there's a difference in the pleas, it's that.
Yeah.
But I get, and I guess it's Steve Sadow that's Gunna's lawyer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I
get
what Steve's saying, because you guys are criticizing Gunna for pleading out and Thug pled out. And that's pretty much, I totally get that position of his. I understand it. There were just a few differences between them, but there were some differences.
And here's another difference that, on Thug's side is that, Thug was noted as the king of this. So there's really no one to tell on above him, right?
No, there's no one to tell on. The other thing is, I don't think Thug really had the opportunity to plea out early. I don't think the state even gave him that choice.
They wanted to nail him to
They wanted Thug.
Yeah.
The target was Thug.
Yeah.
I don't know why Gunna was wrapped up in all this anyway.
Yeah.
They had nothing.
Really to get him to cooperate. That's why they went and got him. They went and got him. They probably looked at his record, his shit, and was like, if we get him, he'll probably at least give us some information. We don't got much on him.
He didn't cooperate at all. I mean,
he didn't cooperate at all?
No, he signed what he had to sign to get the hell out of there, but he didn't cooperate. He didn't testify. None of that happened with Gunna. I didn't think people should have been giving Gunna hell. And I still don't.
So as the defense team over there for Yak Gotti, you don't see an issue with Gunna saying that this is a gang?
I'm not happy that he said it, but you know what? I can explain that to the jury. And his lawyer knows I can explain that to the jury. And we did, over and over again. Max and I, everybody, we all explained it to the jury.
Yeah.
And you know what? The jury understood. So what Gunna did didn't hurt us at all. Didn't hurt us at all.
Wow, that's a heavy statement.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm saying it because it's true.
Right.
He didn't hurt us.
And you played in between the whistles, so you know.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
Look, that entire trial, that 2-year trial, nothing Gunna said ever came up before the jury.
The courtroom is silent now. The deals are signed. The trial is over. Gunna walked out. Thug took the weight. Yak beat the charges. And the state? They didn't get what they wanted. Doug Weinstein said it himself. Gunna's deal didn't hurt a soul. The real damage was done by the case that couldn't hold. So if you're still shouting snitch from a comment section, you're not quoting the courtroom. You're quoting the algorithm. This is the trial room, and the YSL saga is officially closed.